Hi Chem Gang! In this video I'll be doing the work through for the solution for Skill Builder 11.1 Gases and Chemical Reactions. So in this question we are given the chemical reaction of silver oxide decomposing into solid silver and a gaseous oxygen. We are given that we have a volume which is equal to 4.58 liters of O2 gas formed. The pressure is at 745 millimeters of mercury, which we will have to change to atmospheres, and a temperature of 308 kelvins. And the question is asking us how many grams, what will be the mass in grams of the silver oxide that we start with, and that will be in grams. So what we are going to be looking to do is using the PV equals nRT to get moles of oxygen. That will give us moles of O2, and then we're going to use those moles of O2 to get us moles of our silver oxide, and then once we have our moles of silver oxide, we will then find out our grams of silver oxide. So that's our solution map that we're going to go through. Step 1, find moles of oxygen. Step 2, convert moles of oxygen to moles of silver oxide. And step 3, moles of silver oxide to grams of silver oxide. So let's go ahead and do that, but first we need to convert 745 millimeters of mercury to atmospheres. So I'm going to do that calculation right here. That's going to involve me multiplying 745 by the conversion factor of 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 millimeters of mercury. The millimeters of mercury cancel out, and we get 745 divided by 760 equals 0.98 atmospheres. So we had to convert our millimeters of mercury to atmospheres, and that's completed here. Next, step 1, I'm going to use the formula PV equals nRT, and I'm going to use that pressure of 0.98 multiplied by my volume of 4.58 is equal to N, which is going to be our moles of O2, times our gas constant, which is 0.0821, multiplied by our temperature of 308. 0.98 times 4.58 equals 4.49, and then 0.0821 times 308 gives us 25.287. And then I need to isolate for my moles, which is N. So if I'm multiplying by 25.287, I'm going to divide by 25.287. That gets rid of it, that cancels out, and whatever I do to one side, I also have to do to my other side. And I get 4.49 divided by 25.287. That's going to equal N, and that is 0.178 moles of O2. So that's our first answer here. I have 0.178 moles of O2. My next step is to take that 0.178 moles of O2 and convert it to moles of silver oxide. So to convert my 0.78 moles of O2 into moles of silver oxide, I have to go back up and look at my ratio of moles of silver oxide to moles of oxygen using the coefficient. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So I can use that, since once I know how many moles of oxygen I have, I can then convert to moles of silver oxide. So for that, I'm going to take my 0.178 moles of O2, and I'm going to multiply that by the conversion factor that 1 mole of O2 comes from 2 moles of silver oxide. So right from that chemical reaction of 2 to 1, that balanced equation. Moles of O2 will cancel out, and then 0.178 times 2 gives me 0.355 moles of silver oxide. So that's step 2 done. I now have my moles of silver oxide, and now I convert my moles of silver oxide to grams of silver oxide. So I have to take 0.35, it's not a 5, 0.355 moles of silver oxide, and I'm going to multiply that by the molar mass of silver oxide. So I can figure out what the molar mass is. I know that 1 mole of silver oxide is going to be the molar mass of that. So I just need to do a little calculation that I will put in here for my molar mass, and that will give me my total grams of 0.355 moles. So molar, little side calculation here, of silver oxide is going to be 2 times the mass of silver, 107 atomic mass of silver, plus the atomic mass of oxygen, which is 16. So 2 times 107.87 is 215 and 74, plus 16. And so my molar mass is going to be 231.74 grams. Put that into my equation here. My moles cancel out, leaving me with grams, and my answer is going to be 0.355 times 231.74 is equal to 82.3 grams of silver oxide that is decomposed through this formula here. So thank you for watching. I hope that helps explain this Skill Builder 11.1.